Today we're looking at four-season campers. So last week I came across this comment. Every camper is four-season until the first snowstorm. And honestly, that's probably the most accurate thing I've read all week. Because a lot of manufacturers love the label, but very few rigs can actually back it up. But fear not, fellow wowers, because after weeks of research, I found some campers that you're probably sleeping on. So let's just dive in. Meet the Cedar Ridge Vega 2.0, a teardrop out of Kentucky that laughs at bad weather. The shell is wood-free fiberglass composite, so no rot, no warping, no "I should have stored it better" regrets. Underneath, the AT trim rides on Timbren suspension with 17 inches of clearance. The XT bumps that to 21 on BF Goodrich KO2s with full recovery points baked in. This thing isn't just pretending to go off-road. The galley is where Cedar Ridge gets clever. Instead of cramming the stove and sink onto one countertop, they slide the whole cooking station out separately, leaving you a clean, full-width steel prep surface, so no more elbow wars if you know what I mean. Inside, a near-queen memory foam mattress sits under a 2x3-foot skylight. Stars overhead, 105 ampere-hour lithium keeping the lights on, Truma handling heat and hot water. But the detail that actually sold me was that wireless charging built right into the headboard. Man, I love to see that. Prices start at $31,500. A Barcelona crew just flipped the pop-top camper on its head and somehow fit a wet bath inside. This is the Drop X4, a hard-shell hybrid out of Spain that looks compact until you actually open the door. That 30mm aluminum sandwich panel body isn't just for looks, it's what keeps the cold genuinely out. And Drop has photos of this thing sitting in full snow to prove that. An optional enclosed underbelly takes that even further. Inside, you've got a modular rear dinette that sleeps up to 5, an induction cooktop up front, which tells you everything about the electrical system, and a shower with cassette toilet tucked in between. In a camper this size, that's borderline absurd. Speaking of absurd, there's 305 watts of rooftop solar, 200 ampere hours of lithium, and a 1,200 watt inverter, all standard. Even the suspension is customizable, with an optional Pro Defender Dakar Pro setup if you're going properly off-grid. Starting at 62,500 euros, it ain't cheap, but neither is everything it replaces. This one's a little cuckoo, and that's exactly the point. Meet the Kuckoo Max, a square drop trailer out of Germany built around one idea. If nothing can break, nothing will. No gas lines, no onboard water, no expensive electrical system to babysit in a snowstorm. Just a fully insulated GRP shell with aluminum reinforcements and a philosophy that says less stuff means more adventure. That shell is what separates Max from most. Fully insulated, cold weather ready, and about 441 pounds lighter than its wood-heavy sibling Bruno, which means almost any car can tow it without drama. Inside, it's deliberately minimal. Fold-out bed, storage cubbies, and a kitchen drawer accessible from both inside and under the awning. But here's where it gets interesting. You can also order it as a completely empty shell and build it however you want. Rooftop tent with interior hatch access? Nothing's off the options list. Starting around just 17,000 euros. It may be cuckoo by name, but it's hella clever by nature. A fully metal trailer built in Edmonton, Alberta. That alone should tell you this thing means business. The off-grid trailer's expedition is 100% metal construction, covered in anti-skid powder coating inside and out. We're talking cabinet shelves, propane covers, door frames, front panels, all of it. The extended door well quietly redirects water away from the door jamb, which sounds minor until you're 2 winters in and everyone else is fighting rust. Molly panels line the cabin walls and headboard, so your gear actually stays organized instead of sliding around on bumpy trails. Out back, a recovery hammer and shovel ship mounted to the exterior, because if you're going where this trailer's built for, you'll probably need them. And is it just me, or do they look super cool? Inside, the dual-zone Iceco 58-quart fridge-freezer runs on a soft-close lid with a custom slide. And the 200 ampere-hour lithium? Standard. No upgrade menu, no build confusion. One price, fully kitted. Because this time, Alberta didn't just build a trailer. They built an answer worth $45,999. Colorado-based Boreas Campers calls the XT a turnkey backcountry base camp. And for once, that's not just marketing talk. Let's break it down. A Cruise Master axle-less independent suspension soaks up whatever the trail throws at it, while 19 inches of ground clearance and BF Goodrich all-terrain tires mean you're following the Land Cruisers, not watching them disappear. The rear galley is built like it knows you'll be miles from anywhere, with lockable 500-pound sliders, a Truma C60 fridge freezer, cooktop, steel sink, and 30 gallons of fresh water with a pump. Everything on rated hardware, because out there, a broken drawer isn't just annoying. Inside, a memory foam mattress, 1.5 inches of insulation, a 6,500 BTU furnace, and a Max Air fan with thermostat makes staying comfortable in cold weather nice and easy. The standard roof rack is what quietly steals the show for me. Sleep 4 with a rooftop tent or load kayaks, the XT has got you covered. But that $45,000 price tag might sting a bit. Now, I've said this over and over. When it comes to quality, Bean Trailers is up there with the best of the best, and the Bean Squared is no different. Bean took the same platform as their most rugged machine, the Black Bean, and went in a completely different direction with it. Same Timbren 3,500 independent suspension, same 2-inch lift, same 20 inches of ground clearance. But instead of a teardrop, they built a squared-off composite shell that looks like it belongs on an overland expedition. No rear galley either. That space went straight into interior room, and it shows. Pop the roof, step inside, and you've got a forward lounge, a queen bed, a galley block, and storage tucked practically everywhere. The composite shell means the elements can't touch it, and with that suspension underneath, neither can the terrain. Bean has always struck a balance between ruggedness and affordability, and the Squared might be their sharpest version of that yet. What if a teardrop trailer could just grow? The Raptor XC from Turkish builder Hunter Nature pulls out a full slide extension that stretches the body from 15.7 to nearly 23 feet, turning a compact off-roader into something with a dedicated bedroom, indoor kitchen, dining lounge, and a private wet bath with a solid door, all inside a teardrop. I mean, how cool is that? The shell is aluminum sandwich construction over XPS insulation, riding on independent suspension with BF Goodrich all-terrain tires. It'll loyally follow a Land Cruiser wherever you're pointed. Inside the main cabin, dual full-length skylights and wraparound windows make the space feel genuinely open. The dining table scissors down to a third sleeping bed at night, which is always useful. Heat and hot water come from a Truma Combi, backed by a 120 ampere-hour battery and 160-watt solar. Now, at 39,000 euros, it's not cheap, but nothing else in this footprint does what it does. There's not a single propane tank anywhere on this trailer, and that's entirely the point. The Colorado Campworks NS1 is a fully electric off-road teardrop, born as a college design project and refined by someone who went on to work at Earthroamer. I told you that because this thing is built with that same serious intent. The foundation is a single-piece, epoxy-bonded composite shell on a Timbren 3,500 axle-less suspension, rolling on BF Goodrich KO2s. A 200 ampere-hour lithium iron phosphate battery pushes through a 3,000-watt inverter, topped up by 200 watts of rooftop solar. Dual-burner induction cooktop, electric on-demand hot water, electric heater, all of it running without a drop of LPG. The optional 4-season package adds extra insulation, a heated water tank, and recirculation, which is exactly what you want when temperatures actually drop. Yeah, $37,000 is 2, 3, sometimes 4 times what other teardrops cost. But almost nothing on this list is standard equipped quite like this. If you know Bruder, you've almost certainly heard of the EXP6, a 6-figure off-road beast that broke the internet back in 2016. The EXP4, on the other hand, is what happens when Bruder asks, what if we made one that normal people could actually buy? Think of it as Bruder's take on a teardrop trailer, but built in Australia on a fully sealed, airtight chassis. It rides on custom air suspension that delivers up to 33.5 inches of ground clearance. And that same system lets you adjust the height at camp. Drop it down for easy kitchen access, or level it on uneven ground. It's a small detail, but one you'll appreciate on every single trip. The composite shell uses epoxy-bonded, closed-cell construction, which insulates the interior and protects the 100-liter water tank mounted inside the body, where freezing air can't reach it. Inside, the main bed stretches wider than a California king, and there's an elevated bunk at the foot for kids. That means 2 adults and 3 children can sleep comfortably in one trailer. Optional upgrades include heating, air conditioning, lithium power, and even a cabin pressurization system that keeps dust completely out. And with pricing starting around $38,800 shipped to the US, it's an adventure-ready rig that finally brings Bruder within reach. And that's a wrap, folks. Ultimate 4-season camping at your fingertips. If you enjoyed the video, hit that like button and subscribe so you never miss what we cover next. See you in the next one.